Now the next thing I need to do to get my document, this thing, to look closer to this is I need to push my navigation menu over to the left and have all the rest of the document just come right back up to it. So if the actual my normal flow, the way all the div tags break up, if I want this nav bar to sit to the left and have everything else, including the next thing is the breadcrumbs, which are let's see, which would be right here. I think what I need to do is float this thing to the left. That would be the most appropriate, because if I float this thing, if I float navbar to the left, it's going to still sit right underneath category title, which is this gray layout right over here, and it's gonna it'd be theoretically right underneath this thing. And where else? In the breadcrumbs. So essentially, it looks something like this. Yeah, category title, navbar would be floated to the left, and everything else under navbar is just going to go. It's going to think it's not there, and it's going to flow right underneath here, all the way to the right. So let's see. If I float this thing, let's see my navbar. If I float it to the left, here's something useful that I actually do like about using Dreamweaver when assigning these properties, is that under box, it reminds you that if you're going to put a float, float it to the left, it's kind of a little reminder that you always need to define a width for it. Otherwise, it's just going to automatically adjust, and you kind of get into trouble. And you just know, as a rule for yourself, you define a float, you have to define a width. And that's partly why I like using the CSS rule definition panel. It reminds you sometimes. Now, most of the videos you saw that I don't use it. I just go right in the code, into the code view, and just start typing the property that I need. Okay, look at that. Let's see what we got. Let me save my style.css, and